back to the podcast. Say hi, Blue. Good. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us today. We're super excited. The Peas and Bluebee are super excited to welcome you back to
Aw.
listen and to hear about our hearts. And today I'm joined by my fellow hosts, Pee Pee Poo Poo Pants and Lexi Struther.
Why does she get the normal name?
Lexi is
Lexi's
not
not
her
my-
name.
Well, close to it.
Well,
And
Pee
so
Pee
is
Poo Poo is just a long story. I wish I
Yeah,
could
we
say
won't
I
get into
had a better nickname for you, but we have what we have, and you're just gonna have to be okay with it.
My sister's starting to call me PP now.
good.
It's perfect.
As she should. Everyone does.
As she
Mm-mm.
should. But we're officially on Christmas break. I am, and then Lexi's almost on Christmas break.
Well, by the time that this is out, I'll be on Christmas break.
Woo!
Yay.
Woo!
Yeah.
And
Break.
PP's
Fun.
yes, and PP's in a grown-up job now, so
Yeah,
she
there's
is
no
not on
break.
Christmas break.
Well,
But do you get days off? Are you taking days off? I guess Christmas is a Monday, so you kind of get like a 4-day weekend. That's nice.
I get the week of Christmas off. So
Oh.
that Monday and then Tuesday, Wednesday.
So you were being dramatic. You
Friday.
basically get a Christmas break.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So you're fine.
But it's not like a whole month that I'm used to. Like I'm used to.
Lexi said, "You're fine.
You're fine.
Barely.
Cool down the dramatics." Is what she said. Okay. So with the holidays coming up, holidays as in Christmas and New Year's. Blue's biting me. Christmas and New Year's. How are y'all feeling? Just emotionally, spiritually, physically.
Well,
Um,
I have a like and dislike for holidays. I guess I never really knew like the impact that holidays have on me. Until recently when I started to walk closer to the Lord. Which is pretty weird to think about. Like I'm doing this Advent calendar reading thing right now. That's like telling me all about the impact that Jesus has on like every aspect of your life kind of thing. So that's been pretty cool.
Mm.
And I like that. I kind of dislike the holidays though because like the family tension and all that lovely stuff that comes with it, fortunately. But that's how I am.
Yeah, I've been doing the basic read through the book of Luke for for leading up to Christmas. Personally, so that's what I'm doing spiritually, but also I feel like we talk all the time growing up about like Jesus is the reason for the season and to always remember like why Christmas is so important. It's not just about gifts, blah blah blah. But like it's hard to actually, for me at least, to actually apply the Jesus is the reason for the season thing, Like I understand it and I hear it all the time, but the actual like application has always kind of been a challenge for me during this season, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And this Christmas season in particular, it's been good, a little bit stressful, simply honestly like the financial stress, I think for a lot of people, but for me personally is definitely something that I've thought about just because I don't really work a lot due to grad school and everything. But I still want to be able to give to the people that I love. And I still want to be able to like show them through giving, like how much they mean to me and everything. So I've talked to you guys a little bit about it, but like I've had to be a little bit creative with the gift giving this year because a lot of it's coming right from here. How about you?
Honestly, better than past seasons for sure. I definitely think I'm like more on PP side of things just with when it comes to any holidays. I think like it's easier for me to just avoid frustration, so I just want to avoid the holidays, which again, I'm also with you. It's hard to remind yourself of like the reason of the season, but everything is just distracting you from it, which I think is why a lot of people don't like the holidays, is because there's so many distractions and there's so many things. And so we're not actually in touch with what the Lord wants us to think about, but we're in touch with what the enemy is trying to distract us from the actual reason of the season. And I think like gifts, family drama, childhood trauma, like all those things are basically distracting us from like the reason of the season. And so I think I've always struggled with the holidays because I'm a diehard people pleaser and I want all my family to be happy and I want everybody to have fun, but I can't, it's hard for me to enjoy it because there's so much drama and there's so much tension and there's so much like nostalgia that can't be replaced. And it's this feeling of like, sometimes I just want to be a kid again and feel that feeling again, but I'm never going to be able to feel that way again because you can't go back in time. And I think I've healed through a lot of the pain from all the things that happened when I was a kid. But a lot of that tension still remains and it just becomes one of those holidays that's like you just feel like you're surviving it and not actually enjoying it.
Mm.
Um and Christmas is just hard cuz like gifts are given and you want to be grateful, but how grateful can you really be in all these things? And so I'm constantly like, did I get enough gifts? Did I make everybody feel loved? Does everybody have a gift? Does my mom have gifts? Does my dad have presents? Like who's getting who what and all these things. I don't know. It's just a lot of stress. And I feel okay right now, especially going on my trip after Christmas. So I have something to look forward to. So I feel okay. And with school just ending this week for me, I feel even better. But then especially because I haven't been single in a while either. This is going to be the first like holiday season I've gone through single in 4-ish years. And so it'll be interesting for sure going through that. And it kind of adds a different level of loneliness and just like missing somebody you love. And so yeah, it's just going to be different. Not bad. Just I'm just learning how to adjust and live differently. I feel like
Yeah,
every season's been an adjustment since then. So um yeah.
totally agree. I think last year was my first Christmas in this season of singleness, and it was so strange and so weird. And I remember sitting and like on the couch and like opening gifts to my family and like that morning and having like our family breakfast, and it was just such a weird eerie feeling. Kind of like I wasn't alone because I was with my family, but I felt alone because the person that I had done Christmas with for 6 years was no longer like next to me doing that with. And so um I remember like heavily having to like just pray for comfort during that time from the ultimate comforter, which is God. And when I was going back through trying to think of like what um that last year was probably the year that I felt like I had to heal the most through the holidays, because I didn't look forward to Thanksgiving. I didn't look forward to Christmas. I didn't look forward to Valentine's Day, Easter, all the things. Like everything I knew was just going to be weird, and holidays in general are just going to be weird. And a verse that really helped me personally in in trying to look for comfort was 2 Corinthians 1:3-4, which was all praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others. So that just is something that definitely comforted me, because it's from his word, because it's the truth, because it's from him, that really comforted me through what really genuinely was a hard time. It's completely different this year. I'm really excited this year, but in terms of like what we're discussing today, like that is definitely something that got me through for sure.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good. So with the holidays, what is like, I mean, that's great. Like the comforting wise. I think like seasonal depression is on high and it's actually diagnosed as it's called SAD. Like it's a seasonal, what was it? I feel like Lex, you know the definition of this. Seasonal something disorder. I don't remember. But it's like it's like seasonal depression basically. And it's like specifically at an all-time high, and it's like clinically diagnosed because you get less sunlight, you're inside more, like it's just scientifically proven. Anyways, so like seasonal depression is on a high, all these things. So what are ways that we can actively, not just by like plugging in to like, what are some active ways that people can help kind of heal from that trauma from childhood, or whether like it's from a previous relationship, or like ways that we can actively heal through the holidays and not just survive through them?
Well, the disorder, I looked it up because it was going to bother me. Is seasonal affective disorder.
Affective
is what A stands for.
Yes, sign me up for that.
That's that. Yeah, we can probably all relate to it in some way, shape, or form. The most basic answer I have for you is when I needed the most comfort, I literally did not stay alone. Like, I was consistently over at friends' houses. That's pretty much it. I was consistently over at friends' house, only talking to people, like, not like talking to other males or anything. Like, I wasn't seeking attention in that way, but I was definitely seeking like just comfort from my friend groups to help me get through. So I would go with my friends to light shows, or go with my friends to karaoke in the car to Christmas music, or I would hang out with my friends and make cookies, or I just stayed very busy, went to like some different Christmas parties that I was invited to, like from school or through family or whatever. I just stayed busy as if nothing had changed, almost, to try and like keep my mind off of like the healing that I was going through. I don't know if there was other parts to that question or not, but that is my best. That's what I did, at least.
Yeah. That's a great way, I think, in to heal, is just community. And I know we say that a lot, but that's one of the reasons why Jesus advocates and encourages us to be in communities, because like what you said in another podcast, India, was God gives us things that we can't handle on our own. And so one of the ways that we can handle it and heal through it is with other people who are, walking in the same stage as you, or just relying on them as well, like doing things together instead of being alone and locked up in your room, because that's where the enemy wants you. That's where he wants to keep you. He wants to keep you isolated. He wants to keep feeding you these lies of, oh, you're never going to heal from that, or you're going to this depression is going to stay with you until the day you die, kind of thing. And that was part of my testimony. Was I thought I would have to deal with depression for the rest of my life, and it would just be something that I would be tied to, until I walked with community, and I'm like, this is the life Jesus intended for me, and not staying in my room being depressed all the time. So that's one of the ways I would say as well. And also, one way that I started doing it this year was getting an Advent kind of calendar thing. And it could be kind of cute too, be interactive, keeps you focused on what the real reason for Christmas is. And it just makes you dive deeper into what Jesus and his death really means to you personally and to the world as well. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I would say but like from my perspective too, something that I've learned the most is to just learn how to talk about it, figure out like where your sadness from the season stems from, because you're not just born with this innate dislike towards the holidays. And also like do in some cases, I would say like do what's best for you. Um, in like a season where you feel like you're completely drained and depressed and struggling, you can't pour into anybody if you're completely empty. And so like step away, do what's best for you to heal and get in the right headspace so that you can serve others and pour into others well. Um, but I would say for the holidays, like we all have our limits. If you're home for long periods of time and it's hard to be around your family a lot and there's just lots of tension or you don't get along with people, like set limits for yourself and say, hey, before I explode and lose my temper, like I'm gonna step away and go refill with the Lord. I think that's something I've learned. Like you don't have to push your limits for anybody, um, because you can't serve people well if you are completely empty and dry. Another thing that I've learned is in like the opposite way, like know your limits but also serve others, like make it about other people. um like be in touch with what the Lord's telling you about yourself and your body and your health, but also like the season is about giving in any situation, whether you're a believer or not. Everybody knows it's a season of giving. So how can you give to others, whether that's with your time or with your resources or with your finances? That's something that I've learned a lot the past year. There's just a lot of time you can give. Like if you can't give money, you can give time. Um, and also like, yeah, going back to like talking about it, find community, like you were saying, find community, plug into it, and just stay in touch with them so that you're not just by yourself. It's so easy to feel alone when you're surrounded by a bunch of people during the holidays. It's so don't allow yourself to get to the point where you're like, man, I'm lonely. Nobody cares about me. Don't allow yourself to get to that point, because that's not true. And that's lies from the enemy. And so the only way to do that is by keeping yourself accountable and say, hey, I'm struggling. I need help. I need accountability. I'm sad. I'm depressed. I don't like the holidays. It's like, be open, be honest. The Lord knows your heart. And so allow your community to know your heart too.
Mhm. That's really good.
Wow. That was
You
good. I like that.
if your cup is empty.
Yeah. And it goes, I mean, I feel like it drains so much faster during the holidays too. Just it's exhausting. It really is being around people a lot. And not it's bad, it's not a bad thing, but it could get just tiring. Everything, every good thing can there can be too much of it. So but yeah.
Yeah. Um, this past Saturday, for instance, baking cookies in general, sugar, all great, amazing, fun things. Love to be around it. But I was over at I went to the boy. I'm not disclosing his name, by the way, just because I don't. Not that
Security
I
purposes.
like I'm acting like as if I'm not disclosing his name. So I went to the boy's house and baked cookies with his sister and sister-in-laws and his dad's girlfriend. And we baked cookies from 9:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. I swear by like 400 or 500 cookies and Buckeyes. And there can be too much of a good thing, let me tell you. Because I exhausted come for a good 48 hours straight. And that's way off topic, but that's just talking about the holidays. Bake cookies during the holidays. I was exhausted. Can't bake any more cookies the rest of the season.
On the
Wow.
topic of not disclosing his name, I think that we should have all future males involved with any of us sign non-disclosure agreements. And we will have to keep them a secret until there is a ring on the finger or I'm walking down the altar.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't
This-
handle any more heartbreak. And it just I'm at my wit's end here, people.
when I was a guest on Joy in the Trials, I didn't even disclose my ex's name because I was like, I'm not disclosing any names until further notice.
Yeah. Until we are married and pregnant with our first child, then you will know his name. And that's fair.
Boy.
Not even like
boy.
attached to the whole like like healing through the holidays thing, but being single through the holidays makes you feel like there's no other time of the year that you feel so single in your life than the holidays.
Oh yeah, I
Yes, bro. Yes.
felt so much more single on Christmas than I did on Valentine's Day, which is like supposed to be the season of love, blah, 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 or the holiday of love or whatever. But I remember not really even caring about Valentine's Day as much as I was like, this is terrible. And every scene, don't let me catch you in the street.
Uh,
Yeah, no, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be so fun.
it's a fun time.
Yeah, it's even
Mhm.
more fun when you're like haven't actually healed. So,
That's the best part.
yeah, that's the best part. If I start crying on Christmas morning,
Mind your
My-
business.
mind your business. Look away.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
It's just one of those things. But you
Mhm.
know, the Lord is good and He is faithful. And like the thing is, and why we talk about all these things, it's like I think it's like hush hush, like
Mm.
sometimes to talk about feeling sad about like a breakup or feeling heartbroken or being in love with somebody and like it not working out. And it's like we don't talk about them. You don't hear a lot of Christians talking about seasonal depression or like holiday, like not liking Christmas. Name one Christian you've talked to that's like, yeah, I don't really necessarily enjoy Christmas Day. Like one time I
Mhm.
told people that and they're like, what? Are you the Grinch? Are you Scrooge? Like, sort of, yeah, kind of. But like, no, I'm just kidding. But I just yeah, I'm not Elf. I'm not Will Ferrell in Elf. I'm
That's
not
the
I
group.
don't I'm the Grinch sometimes. And it's because think about it. The Grinch had such a great story. The whole reason he disliked Christmas was because of not Christmas itself, but because everybody else ruined it for him. And he had such a big
Mhm.
heart that it hurt him.
I
That's so
love
sad.
my favorite Christmas movie. I could watch it every day leading up to Christmas, and I literally wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah. Well, when you see it, pray for me because think of me when you see Grinch.
I will.
The and here's the
Well,
thing. So I just
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say, like, I think it's good to talk about it. Like, that's the whole point of what my advice was is like open up, tell people. You have no idea who else is struggling with seasonal depression or like needing help to learn how to love Christmas again. I don't hate
Mm.
Christmas, but it's you want to enjoy the times that everybody else is enjoying. And so I would encourage you to talk through these things and talk through it and find friends who are also struggling with breakup. I have a sweet friend that has like also been struggling with the same thing and we're both in the same boat. Was like it's been so long and like we have all this hope and this faith and this joy about like previous things and there's just a time when you have to realize that maybe it just isn't meant to be and the Lord has different things planned for you. And so
Mhm.
it's like find a friend, find somebody who relates and open up and talk to them and like heal. Don't just push it down and shove it down and hope that everything goes away because that's not how you heal.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, I
Important
like
to
that.
talk about it for sure because it makes it like all the much sweeter when you see like what the Lord has been like holding on to you or holding on for you to have, like what He's going to provide for you through all of it and like the lessons that you learn and the growth that you make and the endurance that is built and the strength that's built and the love that you have and the love that you like realize that you've been receiving this whole time and like all those things finally come to light like once you do make it through the healing and you get to the point where you can be appreciative of the things that you walk through that you had to heal from because of what the Lord truly provides. And like when you can have that realization, when I had that realization of what the Lord was providing for me, it was like it like would still it still sometimes bring tears to my eyes. I literally was in the car yesterday singing a worship song and my eyes got watered because I was like, man, God is so good. I'm thinking about it now and I'm like freaking cry. But I'm like, man, God is so good and he really does provide through everything and he never like lets go and he just walks every step with us. Whew. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
going off that, yeah, like the Lord, there's not a time. I feel like we are constantly feeling like in this season, God is so far away. But the Bible says that God is near to the brokenhearted. So like this season, he draws even closer to us. And even though we feel alone and we feel like, man, Lex, I cry when other people cry. So like pull it together. Like we can't like, but I'm just saying, like, God is near to the brokenhearted. And so, like, the times that you feel like, man, I'm so alone right now. I don't have anybody to go to or whatever. And like we all have each other, but there's that feeling of like when you're in a room full of people and you feel alone. It's like
Mhm.
the Lord is so near to the brokenhearted, and going through a season where you're healing through childhood trauma or healing through other things. And God is so near, and it feels like he's far, but just like look around, like Lex was saying, and see all the love that's around you and all the joy that's around you, and see how God's moving through that.
Hmm.
Wow. Oh, now I'm gonna start crying too because both of y'all are crying.
I
Yeah.
think like when you have that realization of like how good God really is, like it hits me every once in a while. I'm like, man, we serve such a good God, faithful, merciful, gracious, all the things. And yeah, this is like just the time that it hit me, and I was like, he really did do that.
And loving, so
Mhm.
loving that he
So
was set like Christmas in general, sending his son to be born in a barn with stinky sheep and things, and in a time with no deodorant. And just, I mean, like, he could have been born in any time. He was born way before us, which was nice.
Thank you.
Because he was able, like, we're able to have deodorant, which is nice. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, God is so good, and he draws near. And so like although it can be tough, like it is encouraging to know that God's so near to your heart, and especially when you're brokenhearted. So
Mm.
do y'all have anything else to add on the pod today?
I like what you said about setting limits for yourself because the past few Christmases, I would always think that I was a bad Christian because I wasn't as happy as I should be on Christmas or like leading up to Christmas. And I thought it was just like me. And I was just like a horrible Christian for like not loving the day that, Jesus was born. Um, but I like how you said to open up about your feelings because there are other people who feel that way, and taking time for yourself and setting those healthy boundaries of, okay, right now, like I can't deal with like any more family drama right now. And that doesn't make me a bad person. It just lets me know that, okay, this is my boundary right now. I have to go back and be filled up by the Lord before I can continue this and continue through the day. And so, like, really opening up to other people just makes you human. It makes you realize that your feelings are valid, but like your feelings aren't, they don't determine who you are, kind of thing. Like, yes, I don't feel happy on Christmas, but doesn't make me a horrible person. It just makes me human, and it makes me like, it just lets me know that, okay, I have some healing to work through. I have some trauma to work through. So I really like how you said that, how to just open up to people and to set healthy boundaries, because I mean, the Lord calls us to set healthy boundaries for everybody.
Yeah,
Right.
that's good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
A little less than 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna go through this really fast.
Yeah.
So this is something that I went through last season when I was like really searching for the light. So in John 3:19, it said God's light came into this world, but people love the darkness more than they love the light, for their actions were evil. All who do evil hate the light and refuse to go near it, for fear their sins will be exposed. But those who do what is right come to the light so others can see that they are doing what God wants. And in the side notes, I wrote, Lex, don't refuse to see the light in this season. Jesus will help you find the light in the darkness, in the quiet, in the unknown, and in the waiting. So my last piece is just don't refuse to see the light in this season. whether you're healing, whatever you're going through, don't refuse to see God's light because it really will get you through it.
That's good.
Mm.
All right, guys. Well,
like
I
that.
pray over each person that listened that you will just heal through the holidays and not shove your feelings and emotions down. Like, see God's goodness. Ladies, any closing words?
Let your light shine.
Aw. The peas are officially out.
Bye.
Bye.